Hello everyone, welcome to the Remote PE Teacher YouTube channel. I want to go through a tool that I use all the time, especially with my sports teams, called Remind. So it's a fantastic way to connect with your parents and students while safely protecting your own personal phone number. And it allows you to set office hours and things like that. So first thing that you want to do, if you go to remind.com, okay, so I'm kind of at Remind. It says something about the app here, but let's go to remind.com, all right, where we can sign up, okay? And so if you click sign up, you can sign up with your email or phone number or sign up with Google. I recommend signing up with Google if you're a Google school. That's the way I've signed up. So I'm going to log in. I have 3 separate accounts here, so that's fantastic. So you can go ahead and enter your email address and then a password. I just go ahead and log in with my Google account. And notice I have 4 Google accounts here. This is the one that I want to go into, my school account. All right, and once you log in, they're going to ask you what school you're at. So I'm at Rose Hill High School, and save. You could also not be at a school and use this, but I don't know how that works, to be honest. All right, so we're in our class. Let me move this up so I'm kind of out of the way. We're in our Remind account. We can do classes created for us. There's no more 140 character limit. We can make a call to any phone, and that's new. I didn't know that. And that's if you have the Remind plan for school districts, but you don't have to have that to work for free. So let's take a look at all the functions of this. All right, so I have different account settings. So come up here, I could put my name in there. I could tell people what they'll see when they see me. So if I wanted to put Coach Weber up here, so they know, and then I can redo my passwords. And my role is as a teacher, okay? So there would be student roles, but I'm a role as a teacher, okay? And it does collect data. I think that's how they make their money. All right, so notification preferences. All right, so I want to get emails here. I can turn those off. If I don't want to get emails all the time, I can turn that off. I can only look at it when I log into Remind. You can get desktop notifications, you can get text messages and voice calls to your phone number, and you can get things through the Remind mobile app. I also have a couple other accounts set up, so I'm not going to actually do this. And then I could add devices, so I could have 2 phone numbers that get this information. And then office hours. This is one that I think is important. Okay, so when do you want to get messages or let people that know that you're okay to get messages? So let's just say I only want to get messages from 8 to 6. All right, and Monday through Friday. In my office hours, I do not have office hours on Saturday and Sunday. Okay, so you can set your office hours. You can receive copies of your own class announcements if you take a look at that. Let's go up here. There's some app integrations. You can use these apps with Remind. So I can use Box, and I'm not sure what Box is, so I'm not going to go with that. But Google Classroom, I can send out assignments and boost collaboration through that. I can send Google Drive folder files. Signup.com, you can use Signup Genius, SurveyMonkey. You can use those to send out all things from those sites, such as a Sign Up Genius, Sign Up, or a SurveyMonkey through there. There are some widgets they can have, you can embed this widget on your class website, so people could see the messages you send out. So if you use this as a platform just to send mass messages out, like announcements, and you have a website, you could embed your code in there. Message history, I don't have any messages, but we can export PDFs from all the announcements we send to class. We can export a PDF of all the participants and export all the user data. I can archive classes, so I could restore. I had made this class a long time ago, so I could restore this class right here, or I can make some current classes. Okay, so and then blocked users. Every once in a while, you got to block a user. I have some people that sign up with a phone number, and then they get a new phone, and that person's number goes back in the pool, and then you get that person still on there for some reason, so you can block them or keep them blocked off. Or if you have, I had somebody that was spamming me with curse words and things like that, so I blocked them at one point. Okay, so let's take a look at all our classes here. Okay, so we do have some classes listed here. I remember I had a weights class before. And looking over here, let's just create a class. All right, so we're going to create a class, and it's called Physical Conditioning. And it will come up with a random class code. And And let's say I want to go Rose Hill physical conditioning. Okay, so that's available. Okay, and you want to start typing that code in first instead of doing like I just did where I typed the name of the class in first and it tried to auto-populate. Hey, the school doesn't have a remind plan, so I can do 10 classes without having a remind plan. And I only message people 13 or older. So I'm going to create that class. One thing I could go back and do here in this class is I could have changed, and I did not change. So if we go back to settings, I can change the avatar to this class. So there's a little different. We're the rockets, so I'm going to make that a rocket avatar. Okay, and save that. Should have done that at the very beginning. All right, so physical conditioning at Rose Hill High School. Let's look at some messages. We can send a message to people. All right. And so if we wanted to send it to our class, and if you look down here, there are other people in our school that have Remind accounts. Okay, other teachers that have Professor Meow. I don't know who that is. That's cool. But I can send a message to other people who have Remind. Okay, and I can also add teachers there. But let's just say I want to send it to my class. Okay, so I'm sending that class to continue. And then here's simply how you send your messages. I'm sending physical conditioning. I type out my message. It's limited to 140 characters. And remember, if you're a Twitter user, they expanded theirs to more than 140. So you can't just copy. Sometimes I put announcements on Twitter and on Remind, I just copy and paste. And it takes me a little bit to remember, oh, I've got to delete and move these around. I will say, please, please, if I've learned anything about Remind, don't spam people with like 30 messages. Okay? If you can't get it in 140 characters, okay, go on your phone, type it into notes, take a picture of what you want to send out that's longer than that, and send that instead of sending multiple messages. People will appreciate it. And so over there, and I could do that on my computer too. So I could pull up notes on my computer. Right here, let's just see a random note here. So I could screenshot that with Command-Shift-4 on a MacBook, and I could copy that and make a picture of it, and then I could upload that photo right here. So I can upload any photo that I have. I'm about to send out a football parent meeting video. Can you see that? I could attach something like that there, and that might be a little large because it's pretty big over there. Let's see, let's go back to where we were here. Whoops, let me cancel that, sorry. All right, and so I can upload a photo or video. I can upload a file, so sometimes I'll send out PDFs. And then here's your other integrations: Box, Google Classroom, Google Drive, OneDrive, Sign Up Genius, and SurveyMonkey. Now I can send that out immediately after I've typed it, so I just type hello, and we don't have any recipients, so it doesn't matter. And then I can send that immediately, and it'll send out to everybody however they signed up. And we'll talk about the sign up here in just a few short moments. Or I could schedule that to be sent some other time. Sometimes I wake up at 5 a.m. and I've got a lot of things that I need to send out, so I'll schedule messages to be sent out at that time and not send them out at 5 a.m. because nothing makes people more upset when they get a message or a text message when they're still sleeping, as I found out. All right, so let's move me here so I can X out of this, and I'm going to discard that message. Okay, so that was the messages that we had. Files. This keeps track of the files that you share with the class. So if I shared some sort of PDF or something else, I've got a place where I can say what files I shared. This is my people setting. This is all the people who have joined my class, and it's just me right now, and my role as a teacher. As you get people in, and we'll say student, you could also have a parent function. All right, and I'll log you into my other account in just a second. Okay, so how do you join a class? Well, you could join your own. You could join someone else's class by typing in class code. If we go here, let's see. I'm looking at this class, and it's been a hot minute since I've been in this. I can show people how to use the class or how to get into the class. Okay. And there's two different. Here, add people. Okay, so I could add somebody directly. All right, and this is what I was looking for. So I'm going to add people. So I could add a student. I could add Johnny. A weird way to spell Johnny, but Johnny Appleseed. Okay, and then I could put in Johnny Appleseed's number, 758675309, and also their email. All right, so I could put them in and add them that way, or if I had some sort of roster Google Sheet, I could do that as well. I can also print a PDF to hand out, and this is a little bit small. Let's see if we can blow that up so you can see it. And it's going to give them a code. The simplest way for people to sign up is to text the code that you have to 81010. All right, so if I print PDF, it's going to give me my sheet here. All right, and so say join physical conditioning. They could open up this link, type this link in, and go to that, and they'll be prompted to put in their first, last name, and number. Or they could just text at RH Physical Conditioning, my little code here, to 81010. And that's the 95% of the people that I have in Remind do it that way. It signs them up, and then it kind of bounces back and goes, what's your name? And then they type their name. Please caution parents, especially, just to type their own name in. I have a ton of people on my Remind who are like, this is blank blank, father of blank blank. The Remind doesn't work like that. They just want your name. Just put your name. Okay. All right, then there's some in-person instructions. So if you're doing this in front of a crowd, it kind of gives you the same thing we just saw if you're shining this up. And then there's also the link to share. You could just email that. Sorry, you can just copy that link or email that link to anyone. Okay, so let's close this down, leave. All right, and let's log out, and let's let you take a look at one of my other classes. Okay, and log in. Just a few short minutes left here. I'm on a 15-minute time limit for Screencast-O-Matic, as you can see at the bottom. And I have one set up with my football team and some weights kids here. So I send out messages. You notice I have a bunch of classes over here. And, you know, I have conversations. So if I have some conversations, and it'll tell me if I'm having a conversation with this kid right here, or announcements, who I've sent those announcements out to. I have all those multiple classes over there. You can see this is an old list of Fort Hays camp attendees. So you see where it says parent, student. I could add their family members if I want. Adam Herndon is not a teacher. I don't know how he got himself in there like that. All right, but you can see kind of what it looks like when you've got it all set up. Be sure to comment on this YouTube video if you have any questions about Remind. It's a fantastic tool. Again, this allows you to send out these announcements and messages without using your own personal phone number. It will come from a randomized phone number from Remind, and I mean, it stays clearly with your Remind account, but it's a random number. They can respond to those texts, but it funnels it back into Remind. So your personal number is safe. And then you could have all these settings with each class that allows you to control when you're going to get those messages and how you're going to get those messages. There is a Remind app on the phone. I use that almost all the time instead of trying to do it on my computer. And the kids can get a Remind app. So if they don't want to get text messages, parents don't want to get text messages all the time with Remind, they can just have the Remind app and then occasionally check the Remind. But I found that having it funnel into their texts gets a better response and gets the information out there easier. There also is a function where it will send it directly just to an email, and so they'll get an email. You've got to kind of let your parents and your students know, hey, what you need to have this in a method that I know you're going to get this message, whether you want to have it a text or email or not. You need to check that regularly. So however you need to balance that for yourself, and just tell them, hey, be prepared. You're probably going to get a few messages from me until I learn this. That's what, I am the king. Our track coach and I are the kings of sending out just spams of reminds all the time. But it's how we get our information out. And we've learned a little bit more all the time, each time we go. So again, if you have questions, please hit me up. If you're a PE teacher and you want some help with how to teach remotely this coming semester, this next year, you can subscribe to my Google Drive account. I will send you my file, all the work I've had for the last 20 years, and I'm adding to it daily. And you can find that information on my YouTube homepage. In the header has the information. I do that. It's $10 to be a part of my drive. Appreciate your time. Have a good one.